the outside.
Yes, we are revisiting something we haven't seen since roughly the middle of June of 2012. It's the 56 Oldsmobile. Finally back from the engine rebuilders. We'll get it out in the sunlight pretty soon because we're going to do some bit of work on it, but engine's all rebuilt. They managed to get the air conditioning system hooked up properly. It's a 371 out of a 1958, which had differences on it versus the 1956. The car should go quite a bit better now. I'll have to take it easy because it won't go around corners any better, and it certainly won't stop any better, so you'll have to have caution when driving it, but here it is again. Plated, licensed, assured, and there's the new interior, which we're going to be fastening down properly today. We're going to put the new carpet down. Factory air conditioning, power windows, power seats. Carpet's going down, the black carpeting. See, the floor is in beautiful condition. That's all original down there, by the way. We'll see more of it when we pull the carpet out and the seats. But, as I show you, it's still around the car. Just was in a little bit of a hiatus, just getting things fixed. But here we go. This one will certainly be out being driven around next spring. Maybe even a little bit if we get the seats in. We can get at least one seat in today, the front seat. Maybe we'll take it out for a drive today, but we'll see. We'll catch you soon. That's what editing is all about. Well, we got the car out of the garage. We had to boost the battery with the Suburban. Seems like we have a bad connection on our positive, but we got the car out and running. Sounds beautiful. It really does. Sounds very nice. Like I said, that floor is all original. It's all original floor. We got the interior taken out of the car so we can put the carpeting in. Very good shape. And this is the newly reupholstered seats. Beautiful job done on them, actually. There we go. We'll be back in a little while. All right, now we're going to do the process of actually fitting the new carpeting in the front of the car. You need a point of reference to start with, and we were busy looking for one. It's nice to see that the accelerator pedal just really unsnaps from the floor, so there'll be 3 little holes that'll be needed for that. This will be a relatively simple process to do as well for the dimmer switch and for the signal seeking radio as well too. Wonder bar they called it. So our point of reference, it looks like we're fortunate enough we're going to be able to use is a steering column cutout that they already have on this piece over here, and a cutout for that, for the cable over here for the, I believe that's for the emergency brake up over there. We'll be able to use that, and we'll make that with our bag over here. Then we'll be able to make a point of reference and do some cutting over here. It's a very small hole so that nothing gets damaged. We'll see where that takes us. Right. Point of reference, our start. We're going to make a mark over here like this. A rough cut. So that way we work everywhere from here. This goes up against the steering column like that. Then we can work on our edges here. Cut our holes here, and an important one for the treadle back, which goes through the floor over here. Okay, we're just doing a quick measurement over here to see from the base of the steering column to the middle of the treadle back, which is just about 4 1/4 inches. So what we can do with this on our bag, or a piece of paper, or marker, or whatever. Gotta improvise sometimes. Measure down 4 1/4 inches. Down the middle. Clunk, clunk, crash, bang. And we'll cut out a circle over there and we'll see how this fits underneath the treadle back. Hopefully we'll be alright. Okay, it might be a pretty ghetto way of doing it, but we got it done, basically. Got our template more or less made out. Give us an idea of where to start. We'll start with just tiny little holes. Start with just tiny little holes over here. And then we'll see how everything lines up once we get everything put into there. But so far, so good. We'll see where this goes. Progress, bit by bit. Well, this is a point that we're up to. Everything seems to have worked okay. Although it did look kind of scary, I'm sure, when people were seeing how I was making that template and things. But you keep measuring and checking and double and triple checking things. Pedal works okay, nothing's stuck. That's just enough of a slot there to allow it to work properly. My suspicions were right. It looks like the carpet could have been made of probably an inch wider on this corner over here, because it's going to be kind of close to the dimmer switches once it's pulled through. Because see, everything lines up. It's perfectly straight over here. Over there, the heel rest is in the perfect position over here. The holes for the pedal underneath are in the exact spot where they're supposed to be, just on the very edge of that. And on this side, it lines up pretty much so. But it just seems to be on this side for some reason. It's lined up perfectly with the steering column as it's supposed to be underneath here. It's just not exactly over there. But we're going to see what we can do about that. We're going to make the holes here very carefully for the dimmer switch and for the Wonder Bar. And we'll probably get a piece of black carping just to go on along on the edge over there. We'll see how it looks in the end. But yeah, it did work. Everything lined up. See, it'll bolt right up against there and against the other edge. That's part of the power seat mechanism. And the other bolt, somewhere in here. Yeah, there it's down there. Well, everything is pretty much lining up, and it looks like we're pretty much set to keep going on this. Here's a quick peek under the hood now that we have it out in the driveway. Turned out to be a bad terminal on the positive that wasn't letting it start properly. See, factory air conditioning, all the bits and pieces are here. We'll get this one running. Well, there we go. It's pretty much fitted. We just have to get the grommet to fit down there for the Wonder Bar. We got to get the radio working actually first. Somebody hacked that into here, but at least it didn't have too much damage to the wiring that we've seen underneath the dash so far. But motor's running. You really can't see over the dash. Generator cars, they would always glow dimly sometimes. Yeah, the regulator probably has to be adjusted, but I got to read up on these old generators. But that shouldn't be glowing like that, I don't think. Idle might have to be adjusted. But yeah, so far so good. Front carpet's in. We can now proceed to that seat down there. Alright, we just discovered our horns aren't working again, so we're going to give them a quick test. We have no current coming up, but we're going to see how they sound.
What are we watching for here? Hold on. What are we going for?
We're going from a positive on the battery to our horns.
Well, get that negative off of there. We got the negative on the bumper right there.
The negative's not doing anything, don't worry.
I got one negative.
There we go. Horns work, but you can see how much current they draw. They draw a lot. We'll have to check the relay out, which is down there.
Is that it there?
That's the horn relay, yeah. It's a very common part amongst these cars. You can find them to replace with no trouble.
Probably had it for 20 years.
Oh, who knows? But yeah, the connections do look a little bit. Yeah. And we'll figure that one out. Part and parcel getting an old car running nice. Some Rube Goldberg thing, but you know, we figure it out. And now for the fitting of the rear part of the carpeting. Again, not too crazy about the fit over here of this. I have a couple of gaps, but we're going to stretch this out as much as we can over here and have it held on with the side trim piece. Sill plates. And we'll see what happens from there. This carpet wasn't made for a power seat car, we don't think, but we should have no trouble with that at all. Power seat mechanism is back in when we hook in the seat shortly. Got our holes made over here for the seat to fit. And the front ones are pretty much uncovered. Just have to trim that back a little bit maybe, or just leave it forward, but we should be okay with that. But it's coming along. We are rapidly running out of daylight, but we got the front seat into the car. We are just tightening down the bolts. Now that we got the power back in the power seat, we can move it back and forth. It's all the way up now, actually, the seat. Just giving us access to the bolts. Okay. Now we'll tighten up the other side. We'll give you a quick demonstration of how the seat works before we lose all of our daylight. Go ahead, please, Roger. Great, okay, that's it. We're at the end of the road. And they don't move too much, these seats, really, but that's the way they were back in the day, I guess. Now we'll tighten up the front bolts. Well, we can't see too much here, but more power to you. Power seats are working. There we go. Sit pretty close to the wheel. There we go. That's a pretty sight. Unfortunately, we lost too much daylight now, but it's about as far as we can go on the project today. The car is coming along.
Leave it on, Howard.
Of course we're going to leave it on. Of course we're going to leave the car running.